so today I'm going to show you how I made this cake topper for my beauty vanity table cake. I've based this on the Sol de Janeiro popular body sprays. This is really simple to make and I'm really pleased with how it's turned out. I hope you enjoy this. So to have a go at making this Sol de Janeiro out of modelling paste, I've got the Saracino in this rose beige colour and in the white, and I've got orange food colouring which I'm going to add to this beigey colour just to try and create this really light orange that we've got. So I'm going to begin by trying to soften up the paste as I've done before. Just a little bit at a time. As I soften all the bits, I'm just going to add them to a bigger ball. So in the end, I have a big ball to work with that is all nice and workable. We might just want a little bit more. And then I'm going to put a clip to stop that drying out. That all in. And right, once this is a bit more workable, I'm then just going to add a little bit of the orange because I don't really want a bright orange. It's more of a yellowy orange that I'm going for. And then I'm just going to work this into the paste. Okay, so it's starting to take its colour. I could do with it being a little bit darker, so I'm just going to add another blob of that in. And just work that through. And I think that's about right. That's looking like it's quite a good colour match now. So you just want to continue to massage it in till it becomes all even and you get rid of all the streaks. Once you're happy, that all is the same colour right the way through. I'm then just going to roll it into a ball. Try and get rid of any cracks that are in it. And then I'm going to start to roll it. I'll take my ring off. Start to roll it up. You want to try and keep that rounded shape a bit at the bottom because this bottle is a bit rounded. And then once you're happy with the shape, you are going to need to flatten the bottom a bit because you do need it to sit up. So make sure there's no bits on your mat. So sit that and then just try and form a shape that you're happy with, which that's mine. If you need to just push the bottom to round it a bit more, then go for it. And then we'll pop that off to one side. And then I'm going to wash my hands because I've had orange food colouring on there. Okay, so once you've softened up your whites and you've got it into a ball, then we're just going to continue to knead it a bit in our hands to make it a little bit more pliable and to reduce any cracking. Right, then I'm going to roll it into a ball. And then again, it's a long tube shape that we're going for. If you've got any lines, just try and massage those out with your hands. And then we want that to actually be a little bit bigger than this. I might make this a little bit smaller, or thinner, I should say. Yep, that looks like it could be good. Then I'm going to press in the bottom with I'm going to grab my ball tool and then just press in the bottom. Trying to create an even sort of lip around the outside. You can just straighten that up by tapping it on your mat. And then you can just give it another roll if you need to in your hands. And then check that against that. It just needs to be slightly thinner. There we go. That is a pretty good match. So all that I'm going to do now is I'm going to grab some of my, actually I'll just flatten the top of this because it actually has a flat top. And then once you're happy, I'm going to grab my brush and my edible glue. Put a little bit just around the edges and inside. And then put the lid on it. Just do any final finishing touches once it's on. Securing it into place. And now that's ready to be set off to one side to dry. I think that's a pretty good likeness. If you feel it needs a little bit of extra support through the middle, you could always put a toothpick in there, but I think that is going to dry just fine. Okay, so now I'm going to try and finish off my dupe body spray. And this is going to be a bit more tricky because it's written in white and I haven't got a white pen. So I'm going to try and create a similar design with white fondant. So I've started off, I've rolled a really thin piece, which I'm going to try and create this oval shape with, and then I'm just going to put the number in there. So I'm going to try and cut out a number 62. And then I'm just going to use my tools to tweak these. And then I'm going to grab my edible glue. Just get a little bit on my brush, don't need a lot. Grab my number 6, just put that on there, and then figure out whereabouts I want it. I just want to put it in the middle, so about there. And then grab my number 2. Put that on there. Then I'm just going to try and neaten it up. So I think it's going to be easier to try and pop the edible glue on here in an oval shape. And then I'm just going to place it round on the glue as I go. Broken a little bit, but that's fine. I can fix that. Let's chop that off there. Remove the excess. And then I'm just using my tools to try and refine the oval shape. And then I think I'm just going to use some of this to try and create a little SOL on the top. I might roll a little bit more out for that. Edible glue over my strip of icing, and then I'm going to try and place this into the letters that I want. And then I'll just use my little tool to try and blend those in together. And they have just a little pattern on here, so I'm just going to use some of this excess that I've got and just try and create a little design at the top and bottom. I'm just going to roll it out a little thinner. And then again, run my edible glue over it, pick it up, try and position it and scrape off any bits that I don't want. Then I'm just going to do the top. Position it where I want it, grab my other little piece. It's a little bit big. Position that into place, and then there I have my rough version of the Sol de Janeiro spray. It's not quite exactly the same, but there's a likeness to it. And it's all ready to be placed onto the dressing table. I hope you liked this tutorial. If you did, I'd really appreciate a thumbs up. And if you could hit the like, and if you want to see more like this, hit subscribe. Thank you.